I had been homeless on and off for a long time. As a child, it was awful. Like, I had to go to school from a shelter, and I was tired. I was falling asleep in class all the time. I don't even know how I got through 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I got to the point where I just started running away. I didn't want to be at a shelter. I didn't want to be wherever my mom was. You really do go into a mode of survival. When you're homeless, there's a lot of things that are put on the back burner. Finding a place to stay for that night, or how you're gonna keep warm. I remember me and my friend falling asleep on a bench at a school. No, we first went into a slide that was covered so we could try to stay warm. And it was like, for some reason it wasn't warm, like it was cold. It seemed like it insulated the cold. And I mean, I was a kid and trying to figure out why we couldn't secure housing. I daydreamed a lot. I daydreamed a lot about what I was going to have, what I was going to work towards. And, you know, that was part of the time. But the other part of the time was, okay, how am I going to get a ride across town? Where can I go eat right now? Which friend's house can I go and try to get a meal from? Or when that's what you're thinking about, there's no way you're planning your future. But then we got a notice to vacate. We didn't do anything wrong, had been there for 6 years, but they sold the house. I had a job, I had a car. Housing was so expensive. COTS gave me such a comfortable feeling in such an uncomfortable situation. I mean, it's scary when you have to go into a shelter. I mean, it's just, for most people, it's the low of the low. I mean, you have nothing. You have to take your kids to a strange place, into a strange room. They seem so non-judgmental and so personal, so friendly, and we could just talk, which was really different in my experience with any other social workers. All the other times that I had been homeless, it was just, it never propelled me to be self-sufficient. This time was streamlined. They were so concerned and so encouraging. I mean, they always told me, we know you're gonna do good. We know you're gonna get through this. You're resourceful. You've done half of our work for us. And one day they said, hey, guess what? We have an opening at an Integrity House. And I was so excited. And I stayed in Integrity Housing within 1 year, staying at my job full time, building my credit, having my car. With my daughter, I got into another place with my grandfather, my mother. We got into a much bigger house, and now my kids and we all live together. I started going back to the junior college last year. I actually went to the doctor one day, and I'm chit-chatting with my doctor, and I had told him I did a speech for COTS, and he said, I used to do public speaking before I was a doctor. And he said, you know what? I was making more money being a public speaker than I am now being a doctor. And he said, if you're good at it and if you like it and you're going back to school, go to school for that. I took his advice. I went back to school. I said, this is what I want my major to be. I want it to be speech communications. And actually, the classes I've been taking have been benefiting me. Every class I've taken has benefited me directly in my life at the moment. There is no waiting. I love my classes. I have 2 classes. I have my part-time work, which I'm a dispatcher, which is also a lot. My classes, my dispatch, then my kids. So then on top of everything, I have to make time and energy to go grocery shopping. Once a month are the Home Leadership Council meetings. I volunteer on the Leadership Council, which is a 9-member board called Home Sonoma County. We make the decisions on how much and to which organizations that the funding goes to so that we can help solve and ease homelessness in Sonoma County. You know, I think a part of why I ended up on the board is because I went in there and said, hey, I'm in school for public speaking. It's what I like to do. And everyone else was like, pick her. I don't want to do public speaking. Put her on the board. But also because, I was pretty dedicated to just being there and showing up and having my voice heard. I've learned I can read and absorb a lot more paperwork than I ever imagined. I'm able to come into a meeting after reading that with thoughtful things to say and actually know what's going on. When I met Laura Rychek, I just love her energy. And I think I had a misconception, or maybe all of the older people I had met just didn't have the drive she did. And when you have a drive like Laura, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't matter how you age, it just comes out of her. I still project that in places, even on the leadership council. I just heard and I felt what she was portraying and that it was so important to her. So when I go into leadership council meetings and what I carry with me from Laura is that we must resist the urge and the habit of treating people like they're furniture. And just that is so loud and is so vibrant when she says we must resist. And so I echo that. And so I've realized that there's a lot of people who care. I think we just have to continue to organize things. And that's it, really. From one day to the next.